and we have some more, 5 more Gousto recipes to do. I thought it was about time that I did some more of these. So the first one is the beef mince aubergine and aubergine fatteh, I can't pronounce it, with crispy pittas. So this is what we have to show you what arrived. Not necessarily saying that I'm going to cook them the same day, same as before, but they've arrived this morning. So we have 8 of these. So for each portion, because I buy 4 portions of each product or each recipe, then there will be 2 of those, which is actually quite a lot, isn't it? I think that's quite a lot. Push those to one side. We also get a little bit of feta cheese here. Got some packaging going on. Some tomato paste. We also have this, which I have had recipes with this before and I haven't liked it, but I'm thinking my taste buds have probably changed because I've got a bit of a sweet tooth now that I've never had in my life. So hey, things change, right? So I'm going to go with that. I also have some white wine vinegar, some beef stock, some mint. I've got one of these. I need to check that. It's probably the right amount. Yes, it's just 5 grams. Some minced beef. The beef is always lovely. Some cumin, some garlic. A lot of ingredients for this. It's going to take a bit to prepare. And we have 4 tomatoes, 2 aubergines. They're quite small, aren't they? Quite cute. This I think is going to be like that aubergine dish. I think taste wise it's going to be very similar to that aubergine dish that I did before. The gosh, I can't remember what it was. The aubergine with the ciabatta on the side. I can't remember. And then a couple of onions. So there is quite a lot of ingredients for this, and what I will do is prepare it and with you, and then go through what we've got to do with everything and how that's all gonna work, and what we need to do. And if I'm brave enough, then I'll do a bit of cooking with you, but generally I will show you the results and also how I prepare it going forward. One of these portions is for me, the other 3 will be frozen. So really good quality though. Tomatoes are nice and big, quite very big tomatoes. All right, let's get on with it. Okay, so I thought I was recording, I was not. So what I've done, all I've done is taken the ends off of the aubergine and cubed them so they are like this, and then poured olive oil on. And I'm going to get these in the Ninja. You're meant to put them in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. With the Ninja, obviously it's a little quicker. So I'm going to do this. And I hadn't got to put any olive oil in, and then I just noticed that I hadn't even pressed record because, you know, special days. It's okay, I almost poured my coffee in the other one, so aren't you pleased you missed that? That would have been funny. Alright, so that will be there. I'm going to Ninja them on bake for about 15 minutes and we will see where they are. So I will be back in a moment to prepare the rest. Okay, meanwhile, we are slicing some onions, which is going to be fun because I got a cut on my finger. And we are going to be putting them in, half of them in here. And the other half I think we use as some sort of salsa, which I believe I will be able to freeze, even though it's tomato, because it's a salsa. I mean, if you get salsa from a jar, it's not like that crisp or anything. Pretty wasteful on the old onion here. Okay, and it just says finely sliced, so I'm gonna cut it in half, and finely as I can anyway. And this is the one I'm going to fry with olive oil, it says. So it should be quite a nice Mediterranean feel to it, especially with the pita breads. And what I'm doing with that, because I can't remember if that bit was also omitted from my not turning on the recorder, is I'm going to just freeze them as they are. And we will see where we are. So just putting them in my pan, and then I'm going to get the, well, making me cry. It's done. So as you can see, mine aren't overly fine. They're not terrible. And then we have to do the other one, but that won't be cooking. But I will wait till I've finished prepping it. It doesn't take long to cook onions. And I think once the onions are done, we're going to mix up a tomato stock. And I'll tell you what we're going to do with that when I got this doing its thing. That's where I cut myself. Well, I didn't do a very good job anyway, did I? And that's going to go with olive oil. Of course, you meant to probably warm up your olive oil first, but hey, do it my way. Alright, so that's going to cook. We're going to get the other onion ready, which is going to sit on the side for the salsa, like I thought it was. And as far as the tomatoes, well, this onion's getting in my eyes, so it's making it hard to read here. So let's see what we're doing with the tomatoes. Okay, we are going to make it a tomato stock, but not with the tomatoes. Let's see, we are chopping the tomatoes, and all of them are going to go with the onion. So we're going to have a sliced, the rest of the sliced onion, and we're going to mix it with a few things, which I will do here. And that will be like our salsa, so I'll do that in a moment, along with the onion, tomatoes, all of them, and the mint, which is probably starting to go home a little bit. Then we have some garlic, and the garlic is going to go, where is the garlic going? Okay, alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook our onion off. Then once that is pretty much done, we are going to add the beef to this pan here, the frying pan, and get that cooking. But we're also dissolving the beef stock, tomato paste, in 550 millilitres of boiled water, and that becomes our tomato stock, which once the beef has browned, we add the cumin, which is the same whether you're 2 people or 4, by the way, but I don't know, maybe if you're 2 people you like more cumin. The ras el hanout, I don't know how it's pronounced, that one, the one which I didn't overly like before, and the chopped garlic. So we will get the chopped garlic done and ready before I do the tomatoes, because they just make a mess. So I will start to get this ready, get this on, and I will be back in one moment. Okay, and this is my tomato stock ready to go in. I am browning the beef now. The onions have had their time. So first of all, we are going to do some garlic, and instead of grating it, I'm just going to chop it. I obviously am not, it seems very good at grating, so we'll do it this way instead. Not saying I'm good at chopping either, but we will give it a go, right? And it's really late for me to be cooking, by the way, today. Incredibly late. It's like, ooh, 6 o'clock or something. Around that, 6:30, even later. I don't like to eat past 6 o'clock, it's the thing. But my time ran away with me today, and I know tomorrow is a busy day, so I just won't get to it. Alright, I'll pop these to one side because I don't really have a trash actually. You know what, we're putting this salt, yeah, putting this salt in there. So I'm going to put my trash in here because that's the last of my salt. I have more on the way, or my last of this type of salt, the one I prefer. The one I prefer to cook with, but not necessarily put on food. It's very crunchy if you put it on food. Oops. So I spill over my thing that I'm going to put my garlic in. And then I'm just going to chop this as fine as I can, which probably isn't as fine as most. Now it says 2 garlic. Because I'm cooking with it, I put in more. No kidding, right? Actually, can I pour this in with the... No, I need to cook it with the ground cumin once that's been added to the beef, not the stock. I was going to be like, I could put it in the stock, but you need it fragrant beforehand. I know if I grated it, it would be smaller, but it is what it is. This is my abilities at this time of day. And it's very warm. We have yet another heat wave going on, which is good. I love the heat. It's terrible for recording though, because I can't have my fans on, because all you do is hear the fans going. Let's put it in here. And it's had a little bit of salt in. Doesn't say to have salt, but had salt in this pot anyway, just a little bit in the bottom, and that's fine. Okay, and that's getting ready, so that will be ready to go on with the other herbs and things. And I have my trash over there, so oh hey, got a garlic escaped. How dare you? Okay, in you go. And all the garlic's going to be cooked, so like I said, it's pretty hot in here. Okay, and what we want, so I put white wine vinegar in here. You also want some olive oil. So I'll just pop some of that in there. And this is where everything else is going to go in. The last thing I'm going to do is the tomatoes, just because they make quite a mess of the board, really. So I'll do that. Let's bring my trash pot over. And again, they want it sliced, but you could chop them as well, because it's going in like a salsa, so it's up to you. I'm going to slice them, but I'm tempted to chop them, dice them. I am. And my air fryer's gone off as well, so it's ready for me to check. So it's not taking long, is it? I think we'll do a little chop going across. Of course, it's a metal bowl, so it makes lots of noise, but it has a lid on it, and then I'll be splitting it, because this should be fine to freeze with the vinegar. And it's going to be a bit soggy, but like I said, if you get salsa out of the jar, it's pretty soggy anyway. It's not great on my cup either. The onion. Need to move this out the way. Okay, and I know that there is a really good way to do it. You're meant to slice all across, and you can dice it. Like I say, they say sliced for this recipe, not chopped. But I just think if it's a salsa, I'd rather have it chopped. But they get you to cut it all this way and that way. I'm not professional. I tried to get my son to be a professional. He went to culinary school. I managed to get him to go, but he doesn't want to touch food sense. I think it put him off more than anything. And it's a shame, because he got his certificate or whatever it is. He graduated. He could have showed me a thing or two, like how to do the onions without... It just always seems, whenever I see these professional people doing the onions, they seem to leave a lot of it, because that's what they're holding on to slice it. And then surely you're going to get less onion with it. Maybe it doesn't matter because onions are quite cheap or something. I don't know. Okay. I'm not even sure that I took the skin off this one. I must have done that. I don't know, can't remember. But anyway, skin's not terrible. Alright, next I'm going to get my mint ready. And this you want to strip off. You don't want to be cooking the stems. Okay, so like I say, I've had these now a few days, so they're starting to not feel quite so fresh, but it's fine. I'm just leaving the tomatoes to last. They've got to be chopped, so they're going to be, you know, they're going to be messy. This smells so good though, this mint. Really has a great sense of, a great smell to it. I was going to hold on to that to pull it down on the other leaves, and it came off anyway. Alright then, we'll do it that way. Same with this one then. Does smell good. I'm going to put this for your salsa, and then you're going to just mix it up, and I'm going to then prepare it for obviously portion size and stuff. So this, like I've said before, it serves 4 people, which is what always amazes me when you use the same amount of spice for less ingredients. Like if you were having this for 2 people, you would have half the mincemeat, but they have the same amount of cumin. And I think the same amount of mint actually. I don't think that changes either. It's hot, sorry. And like I say, very late. Right, and we will go and get this done, and then have a look at that aubergine and see if it needs any more time, or if 15 minutes was enough. So they want you to chop your tomatoes roughly. Well, that's handy, because I am a rough chopper. I'll deal with this piece in a minute, because I don't like the ends of tomatoes so much. So I'm just going to cut that out. Don't have to, doesn't tell you to do that. It's just a preferred thing. Okay. Rough chop it is. And then I'm going to do that because there's 4 tomatoes, so an awful lot of tomatoes. And get that done for the rest. And get them in the bowl, and I'll show you how we are looking. So my knife's still, I was going to say quite sharp, as it wanted to miss that altogether. Okay. Said rough chop just as well. Right. And then you're going to stir all this together. So I will get something to do that as well. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, before I stir this is how my aubergine looks after 15 minutes on baking the air fryer. That's one of them. So I think they are fine. Right, let's give this a good stir. So you just want to mix it all together. Then I'm going to put it in the fridge, but it won't be long till I'll be using it and setting some aside. But because it's in the white wine vinegar, it should pickle quite nicely. It's going to be very mild salsa, because I don't think there was any spices really in there, was there? Not that I can recall. It says tomato and mint salsa. But other than the mint and the onion, I guess, there isn't much on the old fresh side. Don't let the puppy have that bit that fell out. All will be good. Alrighty. So I'm going to put a lid on this and shove it in the fridge. Cooking term, shove it. Right. And that will keep that fresh. Alright, I am going to go and add to my beef now. I'm going to add the cumin, the ras el hanout, and the chopped garlic, and then I'm going to add this tomato stock that is sitting here. So let me get that going. I should pause her. Okay, so what you do, once you've added all the herbs and things, then your tomato stock. So you add the herbs and things until for about 1-2 minutes, and then you add your tomato stock and give it a good stir, and then you have to cook it 7-8 minutes so it starts to thicken. Once it has, you add your aubergine into it. So because mine's been ready quite a few minutes, it will need to go in for a good 5-10 minutes, and I might have to add a bit of water. So what we are doing is making this into triangles. I think how I do this. Of course, my veg tray is now, chopping board is, I can't really use anymore. It needs to be washed. So just making it into triangles, and then this goes in the oven for, I can't remember what it said, 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. Just rough, doesn't have to be perfect. You could technically keep it whole as well and do it that way. These ones are going to be bigger, aren't they? I know, I'm cutting them on the bag that they came in. So you get 2 per portion, and the others, like I said, I'm actually just going to freeze with the meals, so we will have them. Right, I'll be back in a bit with the dish. Alright, I'm just warming up my pita breads, but this is what we have. So I have my feta still cubed or halved. I have my salsa here, I have my beef here, and then I have my 2 pieces of pita bread, and I am going to store it that way. As far as warming up goes, obviously this won't be warmed up, and I will probably take this out and either microwave it for a couple of minutes, or I might very well bake it a little bit longer in the Ninja, depending how I feel. Alrighty, let me show you my plate. Okay, and there we have it. It's a lot of salsa, I will go there, and I'm messy. And there we have a lot of pita bread, if we come to that. Sprinkle with a bit of feta on top, and I will let you know how we are. But kind of does look, other than they've got all the feta ones down one side, kind of looks very similar. Right, I will let you know. All right, my thoughts. I actually really liked it. I really like the salsa. It actually came out really good, so I hope that comes out well after it being frozen. The beef and aubergine, I couldn't really taste the aubergine, and the beef, I think they both needed longer to cook together to soak up the flavours. So I think when I do reheat it, I will do it in the Ninja on bake, so that it hopefully gives it another 10-15 minutes to really meld in those flavours. Pita bread was of course nice, I mean, can't go too wrong with that, but I do think it's one of those dishes that I think it's like a curry. Curries are quite often better, I think, the next day. I think this would be similar. So nothing against it. I would have it again for certain. It was tasty, but I think the flavours just needed to marry a little bit more. And the salsa, like I say, was really good. I ate it all. For me to eat anything salady is pretty good going. So what do we have stat-wise on this? So this one was 683 calories. I reckon most of that is from those pita breads. It's 27 grams of fat, 12 grams of saturated fat, 68 carbs. Again, that's going to be mostly from the pita breads too. Sugar, is that 12 grams? 12 grams. Fiber was 11 grams, so not bad. Protein 40 and salt 1.8 grams, and of course you need to add on things that you added in yourself, like olive oil and salt and things like that. I think that was the only things we added for this one, wasn't it? Yeah, just salt, pepper, water, and obviously water. And these are your instructions as well. So like I say, it was tasty, but I think when I warm them up, it's going to be more tasty. Let's put it that way. And I hope the salsa survives the freezer. Maybe I'll put a comment down if I remember, because I won't be putting this up on the channel yet. So when I do, maybe I will give you a follow-up as to was it better with it being frozen. Yeah, there you go, something to look forward to. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you are enjoying these little videos. Any comments are very welcome, and please do like and subscribe, and also visit my main channel if you have any interest in models, which is Opally Our Models. I'm getting all my channels confused. I only have two, this one and the other one. Anyway, most of all, take care of yourselves. Take care, guys. Bye bye.